New York Congressman, member of the House Oversight Committee, Nick Langworthy. Good morning to you, Congressman. There's so much, billions of dollars in fraud. Yeah. Someone's got to get to the bottom of this.
Well, we intend to do that. This is mind-boggling on Washington standards. The fact that you're seeing billions of dollars in fraud right under the nose of the American people, the people of Minnesota. They didn't vote for this, and we have nothing, less than can be described as organized crime that's gone on here. And it really scares the hell out of me that this is not just Minnesota. I mean, I think of what my own state of New York might be capable of. And in the vast amounts of government spending, especially in our blue states, your Californias, your New Yorks, your Michigans, those states that have large immigrant populations and a large incentive for fraud. You're seeing this with the Somali population in Minnesota. This investigative journalism that was conducted and now has hundreds of millions of views. The American people have seen this. They've seen this on their own terms. They've seen this in long form. And now it's time for Congress to get to the bottom of what went on. We have a hearing next week. I'm looking very forward to participating in that. And Tim Walz better show up in Washington on February 10th.
Yeah, and I have to think the average American, doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat, you have to be enraged by this, by the billions of dollars stolen, essentially. And we know that Minnesota legislators and providers spoke out against these fraud allegations, but they still couldn't help but make themselves look guilty. Take a look at this.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
I do see some signs over here that say stop fraud, and I agree, stop it. There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud,
Right. Yeah, if you look at that first lady, she had to read the words, fraud is bad. It's not just daycares. There's reportedly fraudulent health care centers, homes being used and bought as home health care. And as you alluded to, it's not just Minnesota. It could be happening in New York. We know GOP lawmakers in Ohio are calling for an investigation into similar fraud into this state. This is very widespread, isn't it?
I think the fraud really is in the states because so much of our federal resources that are sent to state governments, we lose all oversight over. And the state are trusted to actually execute those programs. And when you have no oversight, no accountability, no checks and balances from a state government, they just want to shovel the money out the door as fast as possible and not ask any questions because they're in essence buying votes. This Somali population provided a large block of votes for Democrat politicians. And we really need answers. What has been laid out in the investigative journalism is damning. And really, you're not seeing a single national Democrat come out and cry foul here on Republicans' allegations at this point. So I think what we've done is uncovered a smoking gun. Now we have to have the full-blown investigation. There needs to be prosecutions. People need to go to prison for this. And if politicians turn a blind eye, they need to be turned out of office and prosecuted.
Good point.
Yeah, Congressman, I'd like to switch gears here a little bit to your home state and right here, New York City. It's new mayor, socialist Zohran Mamdani. It's just remarkable to me that the global capital of capitalism is now run by a socialist. What are your thoughts?
I'm just glad I live in the Buffalo area, not New York City. But New York City is so important to not just our state's economy, but our nation's economy. And to have someone who's a avowed socialist, he made it crystal clear, I am a Democrat socialist. I will govern as a Democrat socialist. We have had a flight of population. Especially those people with the resources to go anywhere and do the same business that they do now. This could lead to a hemorrhage of jobs, hemorrhage of investment, and eventually these people with these bright ideas that want to hand out everything for free run out of other people's money. But what I hope Mamdani understands is being mayor is an administrative job, not a social engineering job. And we need New York City to be healthy. I'm very concerned about the future, and I'm very concerned about how weak our governor, Kathy Hochul, is, because so much of what Mamdani wants to achieve has to be approved by the state government. Now, she's got a primary. So she's very concerned about holding on to her Democratic base, and I think she's going to take the knee and knuckle under to Mamdani.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.